past couple of weeks, Stop Killing Games has exploded in popularity, which I think is fantastic. I love seeing so many people signing it and so many people speaking out on their opinions when it comes to the video game industry. And now a prominent EU politician is standing up for Stop Killing Games, saying a game once sold belongs to the customer. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community and my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, last week, the lobbyist group Video Games Europe had issued a statement basically saying that Stop Killing Games was unrealistic, that it was going to stifle developer creativity, and they just are looking out for gamers, which is complete and utter BS. Whenever they have to bring up your safety and your protection by actually restricting you, yeah, you know that they're just grasping at an excuse to try to not get this passed and try to not get so many people paying attention to it. And then they actually had released a absolutely insane 6-page statement on the matter, talking about why providing continued support does not work for all games, and why an obligation on video game companies to provide only a limited type of end-of-life plan is disproportionate, and how really they just want to protect you, and how it's actually good if you maybe stop signing Stop Killing Games, which is complete and utter BS. But now the vice president of the EU Parliament is signing the Stop Killing Games petition, which definitely does not look good for Video Games Europe, which of course some of their board members are from major companies like EA, Activision, Microsoft, Sony, Warner Brothers Games, many major companies who do profit heavily off of live service and who want to be able to make any content they want without actually having to provide an end-of-life plan, and they want to be able to shut down servers whenever the heck they feel like it. So one of the vice presidents of the European Parliament, Nikolai, publicly voiced his support for Stop Killing Games in a major win for the newly minted EU Citizens Initiative. On July 12th, he posted a video on his Instagram story announcing that he had signed the Stop Killing Games petition and plans to continue helping the movement. I mean, it's very clear that this is how a lot of gamers feel, that they are upset with being mistreated by these major companies. They do believe that they deserve to be respected by them and that their dollar should matter. That shouldn't be a bad thing. It only is to these companies who, again, want to be able to control the content you consume, the way you consume it, and they believe, be able to rip that service away from you whenever you want. For years now, we've known that when you're buying a new video game, you're basically just purchasing a license, right? You're not actually buying a copy of a game anymore, and people feel that that is unfair. He said in the video, "I stand with the people who started the Citizen Initiative. I signed and will continue to help them. A game once sold belongs to the customer, not the company," which I think is such a simple yet amazing statement. And while he can only do so much for the Stop Killing Games movement at the moment, his support could be crucial if, or rather when, Stop Killing Games reaches the Parliament floor. As a member of the EP, he will be able to make the case for SKG if it comes to a debate. Other EU politicians who may not have been paying attention to Stop Killing Games before will certainly have to take notice of it now, which is definitely not good for these major companies, because now it's going to be a very quick turnaround, I believe, from them hitting all of their petition number goals to it actually hitting the floor. And then other politicians, yes, paying attention and maybe even making statements on the movement. So while the road from citizens' initiative to actual legislation is long and not necessarily guaranteed, Stop Killing Games is off to a good start with a lot of momentum behind it. It has already cleared the 1 million minimum signatures required to become an official citizens' initiative, but still needs to meet minimum thresholds for some EU nations. After hitting those minimums, it will need to go through the process of verifying all of those signatures before getting a meeting with the European Commission. So it is still a long ways away to potential legislation, and I always say I would rather governments not have to become involved with our entertainment, but on the flip side, these companies are not willing to listen to us any other way. It's not like they're actually looking at the backlash on social media and they're making statements and they're trying to clarify and say, you know what, we would love to work towards a better future for gamers because they just do not give a F. And now everybody is talking about this on social media, saying this is going to blow up in their faces. They never should have gotten this greedy in the first place. I agree with the statement that video game companies must be free to be able to kill their games. However, if they let their games die, then they must be willing to let the players be able to keep the game on life support if they choose. Any argument against this is asinine, which I totally and completely agree with. I'm not saying that they need to keep their servers up infinitely and they need to keep a game alive forever. And it's not like Stop Killing Games is saying, oh, you have to go back to all of the games that are live service and have already released and change them. It's not like we're saying you need to go back to Suicide Squad, Kill a Justice League, or Anthem and add these offline modes. No, it's just going forward, you should create these systems and put them in place, or even allow people to just keep the game on life support if that is their decision. Job losses, they keep laying people off. It's not about forcing companies to keep games online. It's about letting the community maintain them to keep the game alive. Yeah, definitely. Here's my opinion. If you paid for a game, you pay for the promise of active development on said game for a reasonable amount of time. Look at what happened with Concord. I mean, that was alive for 12 days and then they shut the servers down and they took it offline. And I understand that they had refunded people, but on the flip side, that was not a reasonable amount of time that they kept it online or they kept it alive. And even though I have no love in my heart for Concord, that turnaround time was absolutely insane. If companies just made amazing games that could be enjoyed on or offline with no worries of post-launch monetization like microtransactions, battle passes, etc., the gaming industry would be better for everyone. I completely agree with that. Just make single player modes or allow ease of access for private server hosting. We're not fucking asking the devs to have eternal servers up. And of course, this is the way that the companies want you to view SKG, is that they're asking for something unreasonable when that definitely isn't the case. They literally can just hand the server tools to its fan base. The best outcome for both sides would be if they could do so, but then at that point, they should provide the gamers with the source code and assets to run the game independently from them. If you can't finance the game, let the buyers have the full product to self-host. So let the fans and gamers cover the server costs and everything then. So yeah, I mean, right now gamers are really happy to hear, of course, that this politician has come out and voiced his support for Stop Killing Games. And of course, Video Games Europe is not looking very good right now. They're allegedly not afraid, guys, yet they're clearly afraid enough to release a 6-page statement. So they're pretty ticked off right now that gamers are actually signing this and that it is not just, you know, another dead petition. And I of course, will be keeping my eye on Stop Killing Games and this prominent EU politician, and keeping an eye on if any other prominent politicians make any statements on this initiative. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.